Hey there, folks. It's your old pal, Officer Hank Schlitz, the Game Cop, coming to you and teaching you all kinds of fun facts and tips and tricks and hacks and all sorts of cool stuff to fill your life with glee. Yeah. So today, what do we got on the topic docket, if you will? You might remember if you're a loyal watcher of the show, as I am, and me alone, I was talking about ghosts the other day and how much of a present threat they are and how they're not really being addressed. But I realized that I didn't really tell you what to do if you encounter a ghost. I just let you know, hey, ghosts are a problem and you should be scared. But I didn't tell you what to do about it. And I don't like to present a problem without having a solution in hand as well. That's not the Game Cop way. So today we're going to be talking about Hank Schlitz, the Game Cop's top 5 tips for talking to ghosts. This is if you encounter a ghost and you don't know what to do and you're scared and you're shaking in your shivvies. This will let you have a training in mind so that you will be able to talk to that ghost and not be scared, and you'll know what to do thanks to me, Hank Schlitz. All right, so what's number one? Number one is give them a treat. And that's what, I've never seen a ghost, but I've seen plenty of movies, and I know that ghosts like food and they like to eat. I don't know what they do with it, but like in Casper, with Casper, the friendly ghost starring Christina Ricci, there's a scene where all the ghosts are eating donuts and snacks on the table, and it's just kind of falling out of them like what happens to me when I eat chimichurris, if you know what I'm saying. Yuck yuck. And they're being noisy and flying around and damn near killing everybody, but at this moment they're just sitting there and chewing. And I noticed that these vengeful spirits were placated by donuts and waffles and pancakes and all sorts of sweet delicious treats covered in powdered sugar. And so I think that's a sound strategy. If you encounter a ghost, give them any kind of chocolatey sweet delicious treats that you have with you. Give them donuts and waffles and pancakes. They seem to like dough, fried dough. Maybe have a funnel cake. And these are all great things to offer a ghost if you encounter one. And I think that will placate them if you encounter an angry spirit. So number two tip from Hank Schlitz is give them some raw meat. Give them a nice hunk of steak in front as well. Now, you might be saying, oh, that seems kind of similar to tip number 1. Well, dum-dum, let me tell you something. They eat the donuts and the waffles. They love the taste. They can't get enough. The raw meat is not for eating. Ghosts have different ways than us. And what the ghosts do with the raw meat is they slide it around and they play with it and they love it. And they can, the ghosts cannot interact with all types of material things. But they can move around raw meat and donuts, and they like those very much. So give them to them so they can eat and play and kind of release the tension from this uninspected encounter from a ghost. All right. So tip number 2, raw meat. Tip number 3, ask him, what do you want? All right. What do you want, ghost? Tell me. All right. You already gave them the food and the treats, the delicious waffles, and you gave them the raw meat that they love to toss around and push around and play with. So, you need to say, what are you doing here? What else you want? Give me some clue, all right? Now, you might be saying, all these clues sound kind of similar, these tips that you're telling me about, Hank Schlitz. They all sound like you're telling me to give them something. It's like, well, okay, that might be true, but this is a very tried and true way of dealing with the vengeful dead, okay? Because from time immemorial, they love getting all kinds of gifts and gobbles and all sorts of fun little treats and fun things to do in the dead world. I don't know what the ghosts do with it, but they seem to love getting sheep and oxen. They like to get them by the hecatomb, and sometimes they want a baby, and they want you to kill your sister. Sometimes the ghosts ask for weird things. So just ask them if they want something normal, maybe if they they want you to get like a pearl necklace at the bottom of a lake, or a sack of doubloons or something like that. That's fine. Go and do that. That sounds like a fun little adventure for you and a fun story to tell your folks and your friends about later on. But the tip number 4 gets us into what I just mentioned a moment ago, which is, ask them what do you want? What do you want, ghost? But number 4 is definitely don't commit any murders that they ask you to do. Okay. Ghosts are vengeful, angry things most of the time. That's why they're hanging around here and they haven't been taken to heaven. So they've got kind of grudges and burdens to bear, and sometimes they want to lay those on you and say, hey, can you kill this guy for me, please? Can you kill your family for me, please? Can you kill your sister? And no matter how many times you hear those voices, you cannot do it, because these ghosts, they didn't accomplish their business in their life, and that doesn't mean it has to be your problem. Okay, you're just trying to get by, just trying to get through the hallway, and a ghost pops up, and you're like, oh, you don't need to get involved in a murder conspiracy. All right, that's not worth it. Looking for jewelry and reuniting long lost relatives, that's great, but no, don't murder anybody for a ghost. Tip number 4: don't kill anybody for a ghost. All right. And tip number five for talking to ghosts from Hinklets is if everything else fails and you can't placate this ghost with all your lavish gifts and your willingness to take care of the unfinished business they have from a reasonable extent, then if all else fails, get out the Hoover, baby. Tip number 5 is have a vacuum cleaner handy. And if you can't take care of the ghost in a conventional conversational dialogue, then just suck them up into the vacuum cleaner. Make sure you got the hose. It makes it easier. And you can take care of most any ghosts that way. Every now and then you might encounter a particularly powerful ghost. And a pro tip for you about this vacuum cleaner thing: don't turn it off, because if you turn the vacuum cleaner off, the ghost can get out and he'll fly around, and then he'll be even more angry. And what are you going to do now? And he knows you got the vacuum cleaner trick, and he's not going to fall for it again very easily. So you need to just leave it on forever, and maybe just leave the house. Yeah. That would probably work too. You could just leave, I guess. But, if you don't mind just having a vacuum cleaner on for the rest of your life, and you just kind of push it away somewhere and just mildly hum in the background, then, that's a good way to deal with a ghost. So that's Hank Schlitz, the Game Cops' top 5 ways for dealing with a ghost and getting through the day if a ghost gets in your way. All right, so that's a fun thing to know, isn't it? Take it easy, and I'll see you soon with another list full of fun facts for you and yours. All right, bye-bye. I'm the Game Cop. Bye-bye, Game Cop.